Hello, my name is Bill Leininger. I'm a divorce attorney and divorce mediator in Staten Island, New York. I'd like to talk to you today for a few minutes about the various ways that you can get divorced in Staten Island, Brooklyn, and in nearby counties. The first option, especially if money is tight, is to consider representing yourself. Divorce lawyers will call this acting pro se being an abbreviation or an acronym for in propria persona, a Latin expression meaning you're going to be acting as your own attorney. If you and your spouse have no substantial assets, no house, no big bank accounts, no 401k plans, no pensions, no children, there's not a heck of a lot of downside to trying to do it yourself. You can go to the local county clerk's office, either in St. George or in downtown Brooklyn or downtown Manhattan or in Sutton Boulevard in Queens or in Mineola in Nassau County, and ask for the do-it-yourself divorce kit. Keep in mind, the do-it-yourself divorce kit is not very user-friendly. But if you have courage and you have little money and you have no substantial assets and no kids, you may want to give it a shot. The second option, I believe, is a much more practical option. If money is tight, consider representing yourself in your negotiations with your spouse and maybe eventually getting the divorce, but hiring a behind-the-scenes divorce coach. This is sometimes called hiring a family law consultant. If you do a Google search for divorce coach or family law consultant, you will find divorce attorneys like myself who a number of years ago decided that there are certain people who just can't afford traditional divorce lawyers. They can't afford the $5,000 or $10,000 that that divorce lawyer may ask for just as an upfront retainer to start their case. Well, there's another option. Use that divorce lawyer, that experienced, knowledgeable divorce lawyer, but not as a full-service divorce attorney where you're going to be paying $300 or $400 or $500 an hour when they sit in court with you waiting to meet the judge, but rather behind the scenes. You use this experienced divorce attorney as your divorce coach, as your behind-the-scenes family law consultant. You pick his or her brains. You only pay for the time that your lawyer sits with you or works with you in his or her office. Generally, it's been my experience that when people hire us as behind-the-scenes divorce coaches, the initial retainer deposit is usually much, much less than a normal contested divorce retainer. It frequently can be as little as $1,750. It's refundable if not used. If you only spend an hour of time with the lawyer and then you eventually work out a settlement of the case, the lawyer doesn't even keep the rest of the money. They refund all the unused portion. So using this behind-the-scenes divorce coach can be extremely cost-effective. Let me give you a couple of examples how using a behind-the-scenes divorce coach can work in daily practice. Let's say you and your spouse are sitting at the kitchen table fighting over possible settlement proposals. Wouldn't it be nice if you could call an experienced divorce attorney with 20, 30, 40 years of experience and give you his or her input about the viability of the settlement proposal that your spouse just made to you? Wouldn't it be great to have that divorce specialist be able to say, I think we should make a counter-proposal along these lines. Because of changes in the ethical rules guiding New York divorce attorneys can now unbundle legal services. I don't have to represent you from the start to the end of your case, doing all aspects of your case. I can just agree in writing with you to work behind the scenes and to help you make settlement proposals, evaluate settlement proposals that your spouse or your spouse's attorney may send to you. I can draft letters to your spouse or to your spouse's attorney, either under your name or under my name. I can help you prepare for court appearances in divorce court. Or if it's a related family court matter, perhaps there's a order of protection application, we can help you. Out of court, give you ways to cross-examine your spouse and your spouse's witnesses, give you outlines of how we would testify if we were representing you in the family court or in the divorce court. We can even prepare proposed settlement agreements, 30, 40, 50, 60-page settlement agreements. What you're really getting is the best of both worlds, because you're getting an attorney who might charge $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to handle a full-service divorce case, but you may only spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000. Why? Because you're not paying for that lawyer to travel to Manhattan or travel to Queens or someplace else for four-way settlement conferences. You're not going to pay that lawyer to go to court and sit in court for hours on 3, 4, 5, 10 occasions. So if money is tight, consider using an experienced divorce attorney who was willing to act as a behind-the-scenes divorce coach. The third option is to use divorce mediation. 21 years ago, I became the first divorce attorney to be trained as a divorce mediator on Staten Island. To this day, it's the best part of my practice. I enjoy working with husband and wives and trying to come up with creative solutions. Our goal when we act as a divorce mediator is to get you and your spouse divorced inexpensively, as quickly as reasonably possible, with dignity, and with as little harm as possible to any children that God has given you and your spouse. If you have an experienced divorce mediator who has handled 200 or 300 cases or more, that divorce mediator should be able to assist you in working out a settlement of your divorce case that's fair to both you and your spouse at a relatively nominal or reasonable cost. So please consider divorce mediation. The fourth option is to use a collaborative divorce attorney. 7 years ago, I became the first attorney on Staten Island to become trained as a collaborative divorce attorney. A divorce attorney is an experienced divorce attorney who says, I will sign a pledge to you that I will do everything humanly possible to settle your divorce case without going to court. But if we're unable to settle the case, I will withdraw from the case. And your spouse's collaborative divorce attorney will withdraw from the case. And then you'll hire litigators to fight in court and spend probably tens of thousands of dollars. A wonderful thing about collaborative divorce in Staten Island is that we have our own Staten Island Collaborative Law Group, which includes not just specially trained collaborative divorce attorneys like myself, but mental health professionals and financial professionals, such as business appraisers, certified public accountants, and that type of thing. So using collaborative divorce can mean you're staying out of court, you're going to have your meetings, usually after work, on Saturday or at some other convenient time if possible, and you're going to work with your spouse to voluntarily disclose financial information and to voluntarily work together to try to act in the best interest of your children. Collaborative divorce is usually a little bit more expensive than mediation, but much, much less than fighting in the divorce courts with litigating attorneys. The fifth and final option is to use a traditional divorce attorney. I urge you to please consider that as your fifth and last resort. Only go into court and fight if there are no other options. My experience has been that you will frequently spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, sometimes $200,000 be in court for 2, 3, or 4 years and cause tremendous harm to your children. Avoid going into court fighting for divorce. Try all the other options, the 4 other options that we've discussed today. Good luck.